You want to see pushback? Go read my Instagram comments right now after I posted this. The federally insured student loan program is stupid, and it needs to stop now. We, the people, need to quit letting Congress insure loans in our name to put young people so deeply in debt they can't breathe. I'm not against education. I'm against stupidity. All the comments are, so you don't want people to go to college. You can't afford college. You old man, you don't know anything about the cost of college. The comments are full of stupid people. And there's a rock star right there who just did it.
That's what I'm saying.
Pretty freaking amazing.
Amazing. So you
shouldn't
can
comment on Instagram if you're stupid.
Okay. Their comments are stupid. They are not stupid.
Yes, both. Both would be true. Both would be true. We were rudely interrupted by the network's need to make a profit around here with those commercials, and so I want to continue that discussion. The answer to the equation is simply this, okay? Young Paige is an absolute rock star. Mm-hmm. And is an example of thousands of people that we have met over the years that have gone to college debt-free. Okay? Now, what do we tell people? Anthony O'Neill's book, Debt-Free Degree, covers this. And the first thing that you have to do is you have to stop saying to yourself, and for sure to your young people, America, that the only way to go to college, because college is so expensive, that you only way to go to college is a student loan, and to do away with the student loan debt program would mean to do away with education, which is absolutely asinine and wrong. So you have to stop saying that first. And then how could you say that? Well, you can say that with the proof that's in the pudding, and the elements that you need to do to go to college debt-free are
scholarships. That's what she's doing. Well, it's choosing a school you can afford, first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Scholarships and grants, working. I mean, there's many elements, but I think that very first step, though, well, the one before that one was that you have to decide yourself, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm not going into debt for it. So now what are my options? And when you do that, then reality starts to play in. Okay, maybe I go to a community college for the first year or two. My school selection is key. Maybe you stay in state and go to a public university. Paige still freaking went to a private school, $37,000 a year, but had the scholarships to do it and worked and paid for it.
She never paid $37,000.
No.
She chose her school based on where she could get scholarships and that she could afford it. So you go to a school that's doing that, Abilene Christian in this case, which I've got a good friend that graduated from there, a couple of them, matter of fact. And you also can go to an in-state school. You also can go to a community college, and you don't have to go across state lines and pay 3 times the tuition for basically the same education because you went across a state line. Now, some adjoining states sometimes will give you in-state tuition because they're trying to attract students across the state line.
Yeah.
And particularly students with good grades. Now, the other thing was she had good grades. Let me tell you also what else she had. Great parents. You know how I know she had great parents? She's articulate and poised and confident. She is working hard, 35 hours a week. She did her studies when she was in high school and wasn't turned out to run loose in anarchy. We know that because she got academic scholarships. Okay? You don't get those without putting in the work. They don't look at people and go, oh, you're smart. They go, you did the work and you got the grades and you're smart. That's how academic scholarships happen. So there was discipline in that household.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and to her credit, I'm like, she's 21.
She's a rock star.
And just absolutely killed it. So it is. It's just, that's why I wanted to keep her on the phone, because I'm like, it's just proof. Like, this shows you, it's stories we hear all the time, but not everyone hears them. So when you have someone like that on the phone, you're like, okay, tell me exactly what you did. What was your situation? Because, oh my God. And I honestly thought she was going to go to a public school. Most people that work their way through. So the fact she even went to a freaking private school, $37,000 a year, and still did it with scholarships and working.
And never paid more than 16.
It's amazing.
Absolutely never paid more than 16 for the 37. That's the deal. She worked them because they wanted her there. And you believe me, if you're at college, you want people like Paige there.
Yeah.
They work at getting you there. So parent. These are 18-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 15-year-olds that are preparing for college. They need to get their little butts in gear and get ready and not wander out half drunk out of their senior year trying to figure out well, I'm just going to go to college. Like the guy called me up. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My daughter told me she's going to this expensive school. And I'm like, well, see, that's where you get confused. In my household, my teenagers didn't tell me stuff. I told them stuff. My daughter told me where she's going with my money. How's that work? That don't work. And so, we didn't do that at our place. We didn't. I mean, we discussed it. We had a conversation, but we all kind of knew where you were going to school. In-state where we could pay for it and pay cash for it and not overpay for it. And, the young lady had called me up a few months ago from South Carolina. She wants to go to Ole Miss and pay 4 times the tuition because she's out of state instead of going to South Carolina in-state. Why? I asked her. The houses around Ole Miss, it's such a pretty town.
It is very pretty.
No! It's a pretty town. You're killing me here.
Oxford. Isn't it Oxford?
It's a gorgeous town. And for a few $100s, you can visit once a year and stay a week.
I know.
You don't have to pay 5 times or 4 times the tuition to go out of state. Dumber than a rock. Unbelievable.
Now, though.
And I'm paying the bill because she got a federally insured student loan insured by a taxpayer.
But if South Carolina girl wanted to go to Ole Miss and she had scholarships and had the money to go, you're not mad at that.
Go. But please don't make your decision based on how pretty the town is. Jeez, it's not how you pick your education. That's just not good critical thinking skills.
I went
This is
UT.
not an art class. Oh my God. It's an education. Study. Oh.
Because, okay.
It's an anathema to me that we don't think about education.
I know. But listen. This is where your point about the parents being parents is huge, because what your 18-year-old sees, their perspective is right here, right? Their perspective is who's going to what school? Are they going to do a sorority or fraternity? Are they doing like that is their world, and you parents are decades ahead of them, and so to bring that reality to the 18-year-old is what is key. So yes, you're not picking a school based on how pretty the town is. You're not doing it based on friends. It is what is smart financially and where you can get a good education if you're paying for it. So doing all that, because what's going to happen is that 18-year-old's perspective is going to go through 4 years, 5 years of school, hopefully 4 if they do it in time. And then they're going to be 5 years out looking back and have 1 year out, no regrets. The people that we hear the regrets from are the 18-year-olds who didn't have conversations with their parents. They really just signed up for whatever school they wanted to sign up for. Then they're a year out with tens of thousands of dollars of student loans that they're having to pay back, and they're not able to do things that they want to do.
They're stuck
because of that. So it is
completely frozen.
It's all they see. So her seeing the pretty town, that's all she sees. So like having people in her life who I'm sure you did on the call from what I can feel.
I was nice. I had to breathe, but I was nice.
But it's true. But like, that's the thing is like, and I even learned in a book recently, I'm going to totally butcher this, so all you psychologists out there can correct me. But even like the frontal lobe of your brain, like fully does not become mature until like 25 or something. So they're making making these decisions that are going to affect them for so long. And so that's what you have to look at. You are a loving parent by having these conversations and talking about them.
Here's one. Okay. Out of all the successful people I know, and I am privy to run around with some uber successful people, I have never met a soul that said, I am successful because I graduated from a college that I followed my girlfriend to. Not once. I selected the college I'm going to based on my girlfriend is going there, and that led to my success in life.
I'll go a step further. You have probably never met someone that says, I am successful because of where I went to school even.
That's true. That's true. But they often tell stories, when you get a little older, of regret for the stupid butt stuff that we have all done.
Yeah.
And I've got a PhD in DUMB. I've got a whole list of stupid butt stories of things I've done. And but following your girlfriend to college would be on the list. You don't go to college because your girlfriend is going there. I'm sorry.
Unless you can pay for
it. Even if you can pay for it. This is not a recreational activity. It's an education. It's an education. This is not how you select your field of study and the place that you're going to do it and what you're going to pay for it. And this is how we have a student loan crisis, is we're financing this crap. The number of people when we did Borrowed Future that we interviewed for that podcast that used their student loans to buy cars while they were in college was innumerable.
Yep. For sure. Well, the amount of money that goes to lifestyle it's yes. I
They
know.
live in
I
an
know.
apartment with a skylight and a jacuzzi, and they play beer pong on their time off on my nickel, because I guaranteed these student loans because I'm an idiot as a taxpayer, and I allowed Congress to continue to do this. This is who we're guaranteeing loans for. It's
I'm not arguing.
just nuttier than a fruitcake. So go to a college you can afford. Work. It's not a dirty word. It's not a 4-letter word. You're not going to die from it. Right before you die, you'll pass out. Work. It's okay. Work. Go to a college you can afford and get scholarships. Parents, parent. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.